Estonia calls on EU to be ready to send troops to Ukraine amid new U.S. political climate. Estonian Foreign Minister Margus Tsahkna said that European Union EU member states should be prepared to deploy military forces to Ukraine in case U.S. President-elect Donald Trump brokers a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Speaking in an interview with the Financial Times on November 19th, Mr. Tsahkna stressed that Ukraine's accession to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO is the most effective way to ensure the Eastern European countries' security. However, he also acknowledged that if Mr. Trump opposes the plan, the EU will have to act on its own, including the possibility of deploying military forces to Ukraine when the current conflict ends. The need for EU action. According to Mr. Tsahkna, there have been many exchanges and discussions among Kiev's supporters in the context of Mr. Trump's re-election as U.S. president. This is especially important as Ukraine has recently suffered many losses on the battlefield against the Russian army. Estonia, an EU country with a strong support for Ukraine, has always called for more drastic measures against Moscow. The Estonian foreign minister acknowledged that ensuring Ukraine's security would be difficult without U.S. support. He expressed concern that the Trump administration could reduce its commitment to NATO, although he was also skeptical about the possibility of the U.S. completely withdrawing from the organization due to the political and economic benefits it brings to Washington. Mr. Tsahkna also stressed that Ukraine currently serves as NATO's first line of defense against Russia. Therefore, the EU's security architecture needs to be reshaped in the coming months to suit the developments in Ukraine and Eastern Europe, boosting the EU defense industry. The Estonian foreign minister called on EU member states to strengthen their internal defense capabilities in order to reduce their dependence on the United States amid the changing geopolitical situation. He argued that developing the defense industry would not only strengthen the EU's defense capabilities, but also better support Ukraine in its fight against Russia. For its part, Russia has not made any official comments on the Estonian foreign minister's statement. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly denied that Moscow plans to attack NATO, despite the escalating tensions between Russia and the West, the importance of NATO and the EU in the Ukraine issue. Mr. Tsahkna's statement comes amid major security challenges facing Europe. Since Russia launched a special military operation in Ukraine in February 2022, NATO and EU countries have strongly supported Kiev through financial, military, and humanitarian aid. However, the ability of these countries to provide support could be affected if U.S. foreign policy changes under Trump. If NATO fails to expand to include Ukraine, the EU may have to take on a larger role in ensuring security in the region. That would mean Europe would need to strengthen its collective defense capabilities and consider unprecedented steps, such as deploying troops to Ukraine after the conflict ends, the way forward. While Tsahkna's ideas remain proposals, they reflect Estonia's strong stance in support of Ukraine and against Russia. They also raise big questions about the EU's role in regional security if the U.S. reduces its commitment to NATO. In the coming months, the political and military situation in Ukraine and Russia-West relations will continue to be in the spotlight. Steps taken by both NATO and the EU will not only affect Ukraine but will shape the security future of the entire European region.